Guess who's got 2 thumbs and is going to the library? This cow. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're going to the library. But first, I'm going to tell you all the books that I did read and the books that I didn't read. I borrowed 10 books, right? And I read 3 out of 10 fully, and I started my 4th book. Because then I was like, oh wait, my books are due at the library soon. RIP me. I know, right? The 3 books I read: Dead End Girls by Wendy Hurd, How to Kill a Client by Joanna Jenkins, and then I also read Young Witch Widows by Kimberly Bell, Leanne Fago, Kate Holligan, and Vanessa Lilly. These are my 3 books that I read. All of these guys were mystery books. Dead End Girls was YA and was where it focused on these 2 girls who ran away and then they fell in love. And then Rich Young Widows were about these women. Their husbands died in a plane crash and they owed the mob $4 million and someone was trying to kill them. Crazy, I know. And How to Kill a Client was essentially about this rich lawyer who was literally a douchebag and everybody hated his guts. And then somebody killed him and everyone was like, wait, who did it? Because I know we all hate his guts, but like, who was pushed over the edge? Those books were really good. If you saw the last vlog, you can figure out which books I didn't read. Jonathan Abernathy, You Are Kind by Molly McGee. This has so much potential, but I just don't think it's written for someone like me. Like, this wasn't an easy read, as it threw me off a bit, but the premise of this book is really good, and I think it has a lot of potential, but I just don't think this is the book for me. It's currently like 9:30. The plan is to be at the library at like 10:15, 10:30ish. Anyway, let's go. These are all my library books. We're gonna go return all of these and we're gonna borrow some new ones. I think this time I'm only gonna borrow 5, unless I see something that's like astronomically amazing. And off we go. I'm just a girl and her library books. Got 3 books so far. The thing about me is I hate reading non-fiction because why would I want to read about your life story? Lame. All of the books here are a bit boring. I picked up like 1, but I think we're gonna go downstairs and I am gonna look at the adult fiction. I also said I was gonna borrow less books this time, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Sorry, y'all. Okay, just came back from the library. I'm gonna go home. I'll give you a haul of all the books that I borrowed. I borrowed 8 of them, which is better than last time. Also, the book that I was using with me to borrow, it broke and nobody told me. I was standing there with it half gallivanting open. I was embarrassed. Like, that was trifling and upsetting. Anyway, I love going to the library and it's like a monthly thing. It's like a nice bit of routine that I like in my day. So I'm gonna go home and I will see you when we get there. I'm back from the library. Let me give y'all a real quick haul. I wanted to borrow less books, and technically I did because I borrowed 8. So if I can keep up my reading streak with reading at least like 3, maybe even 4 books, then I'm doing good. It means though I am tackling about 1 book per week, which isn't the worst. And I know the only reason why I'm not reading the books is because I'm too busy scrolling on my phone like a loser. I'm trying to be more intentional with the times that I'm using my phone. Also, sometimes when I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm like, I don't like the way this is making me feel right now. And then I have to step away from my phone and I like don't go on it for like 85 years because it makes me feel physically sick. Anyway, that may or may not be the reason why my TikTok is in shambles right now, but who am I to tell you? Let's get into this haul. So, first of all, before I tell you any single thing about this book, look at what they've done to the edges. It's got a tortoise on it. Is that not the cutest thing? It's called The Sunset Years of Agnes Sharp by Leonie Swan. It is about this group of people who live in a share home. They murdered someone and have their body in the basement, and then another body gets discovered and they're like, wait. What if we figure out who killed this other person and blame them for the murder that we committed? That's what this book's gonna be. This is adult fiction. I'm gonna do all of the adult fiction, then I'll get into YA, and then I'll show you all of the fiction. No, non-fiction I borrowed. The next book I borrowed is called The Foxglove King by Hannah Whiten, I don't know. She's the #1 New York's best-selling author, but I feel like every author is these days. Like, is it actually a hard goal to reach? Or is it just because they've got so many categories that it feels like nobody's really worked for it, but they have? It's essentially about this woman who, like, works in magic and potions and stuff, and this king's like, all of my people are dying. You're either gonna A, help me, or B, I'm gonna kill you. And she was like, what? I kind of value my life right now. I guess I'll help you out. I think they fall for each other or something. I don't really know. And shout out the author and the person who designed the book for making it clearly marked. I picked up this book and was like, it's the first one. Love it when an author and book cover designer are somewhat considerate of the people who are actually going to be reading their books. Sure, you write it and then abandon it, but the rest of us are going to take these home and, you know, fill up bookshelves, start collections, if you will. The next one is by Jack Heath. It's called Kill Your Husbands. Essentially, these, I think it's 3 couples, they go on this trip and they decide, what should we do right now? They're like, haha, let's husband swap. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, let's husband swap. Could be fun or whatever. And essentially, they randomize it. So they go into these rooms and they don't know who's going to be there. They're chosen at random. They wake up the next day, one of the husbands is dead. Suddenly they're like, whoa, who did the murdering? And everyone's like, well, I didn't do it. So now they're trying to figure out who did the murdering. And the thing is, they're kind of like trapped at like this home that's kind of like, outback is the wrong word. I don't think this is an Australian author. You know when you get an Airbnb far away from the city and you're like, this is so real chic? It's like that. My next and final book that is adult fiction is Minds of Sand and Light by Kylie Chan. I think this is going to be interesting because Homegirl was originally like an IT expert or something, and then she decided to be an author. This is essentially about AI controlling government, and these people figure it out and they're like, whoa, we need to kind of bring this to light. Let's get more research. They get more research and they realize it's even worse than it already was. Like, they were like, you know, like, it was messy. For non-fiction books, I got this crochet. It's called Stripy Blankets to Crochet 20 Designs with Easy to Repeat Patterns. I've got scrap yarn and I'm like, I might as well make a blanket. I hate being cold. So I was thinking of doing something from here. It's got both written and then like, it's got like pictures so you can, here I'll show you what I mean. Like this. Like, I don't know what any of this means, but I know someone out there does. Hopefully this will help me improve my crochet skills. I wanted to find a knitting book, but I didn't see any, so I didn't stress too hard about it. Then I got 2 non-fiction books that are actually written about something. We've got What Does Israel Fear from Palestine by Raj Shekhar. They were a national book finalist. It's really small. Obviously, it's about what Israel feels from Palestine. And then I got another one, which was called Gaza by Norman C. Finkelstein. It's about Gaza and the inquest into martyrdom. So essentially, I wanted to read up on Palestine a bit because I do know that what Israel is doing over there is literally disgusting. Like, come on, people, do better. So I thought I'd read these 2 books to be a bit more well-versed about it. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on internet, like TikTok and stuff. And then there's, like, the actual people in there who are, you know, suffering with what they're suffering, and they're, like, filming videos so that way we can see what they're going through. But also think it'd be good to, like, kind of see more, like, a historical context and, like, actually understand why we've gotten to where we've gotten today. And honestly, it surprised me when I found these at the library. I was like, oh, okay, period, per. So, these 2. And then for YA, I've got these 2 books. We've got The Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I think it's, I don't know. It's like the first book in a series. Essentially, it's about the 16-year-old boy who's the chosen one. Magical powers this, magical powers that. Let's take him down, blah, blah, blah. And then this one is the Inheritance Games. I've seen a lot of good things about this. I'm like 95% sure this is the first one, but I genuinely couldn't tell you because every time I pick up one of these Inheritance Games books, it has nothing on it to tell me what book it is in the series, and I'm always just like scrounging around trying to figure it out, and I genuinely to this day don't know. Those are all of the books that I borrowed. I'm really excited to start reading them. I don't know what I'm gonna read first. I hope you've enjoyed this YouTube video because I enjoyed filming it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Bye.